fuerte para que no le des de eso. ¿Sí me explico? Y tienes que girar y volver y volver y volver. Lo tienes que cansar. Trata de golpearlo al pecho y abajo, más que a la cara. Y por dentro estos ganchos.
Diaz walks right into trouble. Big right hand as he just walked in and left his hands out unprotected, and he walked into that huge uppercut. After Linares had been doing everything with his left hand, he surprised him with the right hand.
Diaz is cruising along, throwing wide shots. You can't get away with that, Dave, with a guy that can box as well as Linares. At the level that Diaz has been fighting most of his fights, he can get away with it all right by conditioning, training, and grit. But against a a champ like Linares, you just can't get away with it, and he had to pay to Diaz. Luckily, he survived through the 4th round. This is round 5 at the Plaza de Toros in Cancun. Good, hard fight. Linares showing his class against Diaz, but Diaz wants to keep the pressure on. Nacho Huiza in between rounds saying, man, you just can't expose yourself like that.
And that's what happens. Guys start to cheat a little bit on their technique and fundamentals, either as they get tired or if the opponent is more elusive. Now, Diaz was just a little bit lazy when he walked in, and Linares made him pay with the right uppercut. Now, Diaz should go back to what they were telling him. They're trying to crouch, get inside, protect himself, and then try to get inside the jab and score. The problem is he's paying such a big price to get inside. Sometimes he doesn't even get there.
Yeah, he's a big warrior-type fighter. His quote about willing to die rather than lose his fight is testimony to that, to be sure. He wants to land the big, powerful right hand. He's loading up the right hand. He's actually having a pretty good 5th round. But the stinging shots that Linares lands, with his disciplined-style boxing, everything he throws is inside the shoulder. When he loads up, it's a short, crisp right hand, like he caught Diaz coming in and dropped him in the 4th round. This is the first of 2 World Championship fights tonight, and this one hasn't disappointed at all. This is real good boxing.
This is an ideal stylistic matchup for Linares, with Diaz coming straight at him. He's got the conditioning, he's got the lateral movement, the angles, knows how to punch off those angles, and trainers talk about making the fight easy on yourself and fighting the right style. And Linares is doing that. Even in a difficult fight, it's making it look easy because he's fighting properly.
Silky smooth. He knows exactly what he's doing in there. Sometimes it could even look like he might be taking the round off, but his punches are so accurate, and he's fighting within his shoulders. He just does everything so well. And meanwhile, Gamaliel Diaz has got sort of a adrenaline flow, trying to put pressure on Linares, but Linares is the double jab. Didn't get your piece of him to position himself with the right hand.
But Linares is doing what got him here, which is the movement, the jabbing, throwing off the left hand. He is waiting for Diaz to commit to mistakes, and that hasn't happened as often in this round. So it's been a little harder for Linares to score.
In spite of the fact that Linares has been 12 rounds a couple of times and been 10 rounds his last 2 fights and 6 times in his career, Linares knows that with fatigue, and this guy is a very smart guy in the ring, that this guy will make mistakes, and that's when he'll try to capitalize. He made just 1 mistake so far in the fight when he was loading up his shot, and he got countered with the right hand. And that's really the difference in the fight right now. Linares to the right of your screen, works downstairs at the bell. That's just another good boxing round, in spite of the fact that Diaz was the aggressor. Linares scored the punches.
Incómodo. Pero estás tirando muy bien de jab ahora. No te duele nada, ¿verdad? Metro jab abajo y una finta y metro cambio el gancho arriba. Tranquilo, relax. Don't move, wait. Ahora ya estás ganando la pelea. ¿Ok? Izquierda. Jab arriba, abajo. Y una finta abajo y metro cambio arriba.
He is executing it too. Staying on the outside as Diaz is swarming, makes a miss there, and then the double jab. That's what you have to do against the guy coming right at you. Show him the angles, pop the jab.
All right, here we go to round number 6 at the Bull Ring, the Plaza de Toros in Cancun, Mexico. on a warm but comfortable evening here at the Bull Ring. Linares and Gamaliel Diaz fighting for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World, which is currently held by Jorge Linares to the left of your screen in the burgundy trunks. Gamaliel Diaz in the gold with Mexico on the back of his trunks on the assault, trying to attack, trying to do something to change the course of this fight. This kid is a determined, tough fighter. Linares taking advantage of his 2-inch reach advantage and just touches him up downstairs. Look at how quick the jab is, Dave.
Diaz, though, landed a left hook and a right hand. He did get close enough in that last sequence to get some satisfaction for his aggression.
Linares does a lot of nice things boxing-wise. Linares is able to back off and take punches on the gloves a lot of them. That time he decided he wanted to load it up. You saw the hand speed double left, the right hand behind it. And now Linares looks like he may have some sort of second win and want to pick it up here in round number 6.
We talk about the fight setting up ideally for Linares is because Diaz comes right at him and he can pick off of anything that Diaz is showing him. Diaz has to fight this way. Linares says bring it on to him.
He is having a pretty good 6th round here. He's wild and he's tough and he's aggressive, but he's landing some shots too. Linares just so cool in the ring. He gobbles it up, holds him off with a jab. See him up there dancing and bouncing, sliding to his left, then he plants, slides around to the left again. Diaz attacks with 2 right hands, a 3rd right hand, nothing damaging at all.
Difference thus far in this round versus others is that Linares made Diaz miss and pay in other rounds. This round, he's making him miss more, but hasn't stepped up his offense as much.
He had that one flurry where he wanted to tune it up, and you get the idea that he can tune it up anytime he wants, or turn it up anytime he wants, I should say. With a minute to go in this 6th round, Diaz having a pretty good round. Linares has been totally under control, but just on the hustle and the fact that he has landed some shots, Diaz trying to steal this 6th round from the, I would have to say at this stage, the better boxer than Jorge Linares. Remember, Diaz was down in the 4th round and a wild right hand shot, stiff jab on the chin of Diaz. Diaz battles forward. Dicky Cole lets him fight. Now look at that, he threw 3 uppercuts and just got a little taste of Linares' chin, and Linares comes right back with a strong right hand and turns that right around. Inside of 10 seconds to go in the 6th round from Mexico. It's a tough, hard fight for Diaz. Look at that, he landed the right hand and right away, right in the middle, Linares rips him with the left hook. They score that round.
Diaz.
Close round, but Diaz, the aggressor, and landing more. Seems to be sometimes that Linares landed some significant punches during the course of the round, but I agree with David, give Diaz that round.
Diaz was swarming, and Linares made him miss more, but didn't throw the punches on the countering, and there he did. But throughout the round, Diaz was getting in tight and scoring some good hard shots. And that's what he gets for his effort on the other end of it.
All right, here we go. So the advice of Diaz's corner, just keep hitting Linares in the head. Well, there he goes with a straight right hand and another right hand to start this 7th round in Cancun. Whatever Nacho Weezer and Antonio Lasota told him, he's trying to do it. Gamaliel Diaz in the gold with his back to you now, trying to assault the champion, Jorge Linares. Linares, the native of Venezuela, working, training with Mr. Honda. Taken in Tokyo, Japan for 5 years. They got in the position of being world champ. Look at this. Gamaliel Diaz landing shots, but no real damage.
Well, Diaz's corner broke it down into the fundamentals, hit him in the head, and he has come out doing that. But the big difference here is Linares is not holding him off. He's not jabbing, he's not keeping him away, and he slowed down himself. So his movement is not helping him out of these situations as it was earlier. And Linares showing a little bit of fatigue, and Diaz showing second life.
Round 7, more of a war here in Cancun, and the crowd loves it. They love this kind of action. Diaz won the first half of this round so far. Landed some good shots, and back comes Linares, who cracks him with a good left hook. Look at Diaz, he's held up. Lawrence Cole trying to let him fight as much as possible. He let them go. They had one arm tied up in that last flurry, and he let them go, as long as they had one arm free. Difference in the way different referees allow fighters to fight. Some refs, if one side gets tied up, will come in and separate it immediately. Lawrence Cole, his dad was a terrific referee, Dickie Cole, in the state of Texas, and this guy's a veteran ref. He's done a nice job here in this fight. Let the guys fight. Looping right hand by Linares.
Now, until that right hand got in behind the double left hand